truth is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin and its incentives and principles and fundamentals insist on truth. And if we can move towards as much truth as possible, the more aligned we are to Bitcoin and its principles and how it interacts with our values. And I think it's worth us Bitcoiners having to acknowledge that and have these earnest conversations, because albeit Bitcoin is inevitable, like Bitcoin game theory is going to continue to play out, and it's inevitable regardless of the conditions that the IMF impose. If anything, it reveals the fact that the IMF are coming out acknowledging and revealing the aspects and parts of where Bitcoin hurts them the most. But when things like this happen, particularly when there is a strong kind of restriction on the use of Bitcoin, particularly El Salvador, because El Salvador's been long held up as an example of how Bitcoin works, and this whole IMF new loan and its conditions, albeit yes, reveals how Bitcoin hurts them and makes them irrelevant and redundant and stuff, but ultimately you're part of the system there, Max, and you're part of the whole voice and face of Bitcoin amongst the Bitcoin ecosystem when it comes to this sort of stuff. So I think it's worthwhile, when these things happen, we should sort of regroup, be honest, transparent, and try to align as much as we can towards the incentives and fundamentals and principles of Bitcoin, and the whole don't trust, verify, you know, seeking out the truth and working out where and understanding where Bitcoin finds its strength, and how we can use that by carrying the understanding of how Bitcoin's impact in the world is playing out over time, and for us to have a true understanding so we can see where the attacks have been and understand how it's impacted us as individuals, nation states, and those who are influential in the space who have championed these things, and whether or not we need to rethink and regroup and understand and learn from it in order to then move forward with. Because if we're just stuck into a repetitive narrative of sound bites that we rely on without expanding our understanding, expanding our language and our understanding, and evolving our sound bites, then, you know, we're not doing Bitcoin and its adoption any favors. We're just also slowing it down. So that's my thoughts. What do you think? Stay curious.